AJ versus Ruiz, bosh, whoop, yeah. Bacoli, bosh, whoop. Dubois versus Kevin, I think his name was, bosh, whoop, yeah. He on skates. So Parker's got that shot down pat, it seems. So the risk is you get clipped by Parker and it's all over. You might as well have a punt at Usyk. What's the worst that's going to happen against Usyk? You could get stopped, I guess. I think Dubois is too hard now to get stopped. He'll get boxed up, proper boxed up as well. Too leaky deaky. He'll come in like this, and Usyk will play with him essentially. That's the worst that can happen. And he might get tired and get stopped at the end. So it's like apples and pears here, or green apples and red apples. But I think you have to go back to the precedent of, well, end of the day, you had the fight booked. Yeah, voluntary or not, you did book the fight. And you're now saying you would have done this, you would have done that. Why do you think we picked him? We knew we were going to fill him in. Well, fill him in then. Yeah? Really? Parker took no damage. And this might be a good play for Team Dubois. If Team Dubois are so confident, they should look to schedule ASAP. And at least that gives them an out. Right? For example, that's hey Joe, we'll fight you at the end of May if you want it. Because what's Dubois doing now? Yeah, he hasn't got stage 4 cancer where he needs 50 years off. He got a little snivels. You got the sniffles, so there's no reason Dubois can't be out of the gym for a week or two and back in. Right? Same as Parker. Well, you offer Parker the opportunity. Say, listen, Parker, man, I understand you just had a fight camp and you just fought. This is a voluntary shot. You can have it again in May or forget about it. At least then, that's probably the best way of going about it. And Parker will either jump at the chance or he'll say no. But at this point, saying, oh, we would have done this, we would have done that, but we're not going to rematch him. There's something off with that. They should have really come out and just been humble and said, yeah, I understand why Joe thinks that it might be a fake illness. Because we'd probably feel like that too. Right, unless you're going to run it back again, there's no point giving it, oh, we would have done this, we would have done that. It sounds a bit, to be honest, it sounds a bit corny. Oh, we would have done this, we would have done that, but we're not going to do this or do that. Right, put the offer out there to fight him at the end of May. Well, as soon as you want, as soon as you're ready, if you want to fight him at the end of April, put it out there. Oops. Obviously, we know, kind of commercially speaking, it's not going to be likely they're going to be able to get that kind of fight together. Oh, and again, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it takes normally 2 or 3 months. What would be 3 months would be June. It's not a bad idea though. Anyway, get some more bars here from Don Charles.
Then of course,
you got my attention now.
So we see Joseph then go in and beat Bacoli, right? Before we continue on that path, I just have to keep walking you through the illness phase, because one thing that was mentioned was that VADA also showed up for testing, because
Correct.
we gotta answer all these questions.
Correct.
So there's another conspiracy out there. VADA showed up, testing. You guys are like, oh, we can't get tested for the fight because there's something dirty, and VADA is not reputable. All these things is what I'm hearing, so I'm conveying them to you so that you can address them. Are you swerving a drug test? Are you somehow colluding with VADA to make sure that Daniel's not caught cheating?
Wow. Outrageous outrageous. I mean, if you listen to some of Frank Warren's interviews, Frank he says it how it is. Yeah, I'm not going to use certain languages. Yeah, okay. People are putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. Yeah, leave it alone. We didn't duck anybody. Daniel didn't duck anybody. We just did the sensible thing, and you lot don't like it. Well, it's tough, isn't it? Tough.
And I get the feeling with Don, yeah, I get it. He's an old head, yeah. Old heads can go 2 ways. They either go the hippie way or they go the scorned way. I guess to some extent it depends how your life's gone, but I get the feeling Don, and I've heard anecdotally Don has been, the boxing gods haven't necessarily been good with Don. I think Don did a lot of work with Derek Chisora, and then Chisora mugged him off or wasn't paying him right or whatever. So he's scorned, and I think at this point he's protecting the bag. Yeah. I don't think they did duck. I think he wasn't feeling well and they thought, well, what's the point blowing it? Yeah. 10 years ago kind of thing, Don might have said, F it, let's travel to Valhalla. Now he's thinking pounds and pennies. He said as much. It's a business. At the same time, It's got to be, for me at least, which means nothing at all, because not everyone's like me, but there's got to be some sort of spiritual nature to the game. Yeah, I signed a contract